from Las Vegas, the entertainment, music, and sports capital of the world, it's the JJ and Johnny Show.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. It's episode 8. Welcome back to the JJ and Johnny Show. Woo! Live from Las Vegas.
We have a live audience today. There's what, 200-300 people here?
Oh my
Just
gosh.
Regis and Kelly.
It's just
packed.
a couple hundred bigger than last week.
But we're
hey.
back, and we have, man, this is a jam-packed show. Jam-packed.
Actually,
Lots of great stuff.
We have so many things we want to talk about. We're probably
Right.
going to have to save some of them for next week because
Right.
there's so much going on.
Mirage closing. The Trop coming down even more. There's a lot going on.
Why do you start with the sad stuff?
That's not sad.
Oh my God.
Well, it is sad, but
Such
you
a
know.
downer.
Love closing.
But no, it was actually really fun because we were at the last night of the Mirage. That was the same day as our last show.
Right, and
But
then we
went together.
We've got some great video, which we're gonna have edited for next week. It's just been a crazy time for both of us. So, but we'll show you that. It was an incredible turnout at the Mirage for the last night.
The very last night. It was,
thousands.
you know what it was like? It was like a reunion, almost
Yeah.
like a high school reunion or something.
Right, it really
Just,
was. All the
the place
entertainers
was
were
packed.
there, and everybody who'd worked there or performed there or done
Yep.
something there. It was just really amazing.
Bill and I were taking a photo at the waterfall kind of area right when you walk in. And one of the employees, she was just, that was her job for the night, was just like, let me help you take pictures, meeting everyone. Who are you? You know, get in front of this spot. And it was very emotional.
Yeah.
And then, you know this if you're local here in Las Vegas, but it was a thought that I had too when I was out at the water fountains, out at the volcano.
Right.
I was like, what's going to happen to these ducks? And sure enough, it became like a big story in our local newspaper.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, George the duck. So there
George
was
the duck.
one duck in particular. I don't know why they single out George as being the special one, but he's actually going to a sanctuary across town.
Oh.
So the Gilcrease
Good for
Orchard
George.
is taking him in. So, but it was emotional.
Yeah, it was very emotional. It was incredible. It was so great to see it. We all see a lot of people, but even there were some people we don't usually get to see who venture out. The incredible,
True.
Probably one of the best impressionist in town, I think.
Better than John D. Domenico?
Well, this guy's the master. You know who I'm talking about. Gordy.
Oh,
was there.
Gordy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he does not venture out a lot, So.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we did some footage while we were there, and we'll show you guys next week. But real quick, we have a very special guest in the house today. We've actually been really wanting to have this guy in. He's one of the top food writers here in Las Vegas, a well-known personality and friend to both John and I. And quite frankly, every time he's around, there's food, and we learn about more restaurants.
Right.
So Al
Amazing
Mancini
restaurants.
is joining us now.
Al
welcome.
Mancini.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Oh, my
So
friend.
excited.
Great to have you.
I'll just,
Good
I'll
to
just
see
throw
you.
a kiss.
Big kiss.
Thank you
big
so much
kiss.
for being here.
You guys
Like
hungry?
Oh,
You brought
yeah.
food.
I always bring you
Oh my
food,
gosh, we love
JJ.
this.
I know that I can get airtime if I bring JJ food.
So we've got-
basically, you bring her some food, and
Yep.
then you get to come on.
Oh, that's how it works. It's very
Smells good,
Whoa.
doesn't
It really does. It's
What
really
is
aromatic.
this?
The guacamole smells like it's just
Nachos?
freshly.
What'd you
Yeah.
bring?
So what I brought you were some nachos. This is a limited time only menu item. It comes, they come over from Barbecue Mexicana.
Yeah.
Now, you may know Barbecue Mexicana from going to the games. You see them at T-Mobile Arena. You see them at Allegiant Stadium, all these places. They also have one across from Border Grill in Mandalay Bay.
There's the bowl.
Because they're the
Interesting.
same
Oh,
women.
yes.
It's Mary Sue and Susan, right?
Yes,
so
it's two amazing.
Yeah, two great chefs.
Yes.
So they came up with this concept with one of their previous former chefs. They did this Mexican barbecue. It's fantastic. They knock it out of the ballparks at the ballparks.
Right.
And they just opened on Sunset Road over by Durango Drive. They've got a drive-through. It's very close to my house. And they have this very special limited time item because anybody who's been in Vegas for a while knows their brisket burrito. Their barbecue brisket burrito is what defined this place, right?
And these two gals, like what the fusion is, it's literally barbecue and Mexican food,
Yes,
right?
barbecue
Come
and
together,
Mexican.
making love in
So
the
it's
nachos.
a very crazy mix. And they usually do it on a burrito. They usually do it on tacos, things like that. Through the end of August, only at the new location on Sunset Road. They put that brisket right onto these nachos. There's 7 layers. They toss the chips in manchego cheese before they throw them in, so you got cheese just on like every chip. There's 7 ingredients. They do it layer after layer. And I'm like, I just love their barbecue. I love their brisket. And I was driving by, so I thought I'd bring it in for you guys.
Fantastic.
Oh my
So good.
goodness. Okay, we're tasting.
And
Are
there's
you
this
doing fingers?
avocado bun. Oh, fingers, please.
I'm gonna always. Okay.
I'll keep the napkins for you. I'll just wipe on my pants.
Brisket
It's okay.
nacho. 7 ingredients. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and there's
It's
this avocado bomb that they throw on the top at the end. Just really pops the corn. Really good.
Whoa! Holy moly.
everything is.
I wouldn't have thought of
I'm gonna try this.
the barbecue
You
flavor
got that
going in there
smoke off
together.
that barbecue. It's
Yeah.
great, isn't it?
That's fantastic. Those two, tell me their names again. I've seen them so many times.
Mary
Mary
Sue
Sue
Milliken
is-
and Susan Feniger.
These gals are cute. We have a picture of them.
There they
I
are.
love them. Now they've teamed up.
Numerous
Caliento!
times.
Yeah.
Caliente!
Delicioso.
Delicioso!
And they have been in business together. They did the 2 Hot Tamales years ago on the Food Network. They've both been on Top Chef Masters. They have many restaurants out in California as well.
They have restaurants, I believe, in Santa Monica.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, these ladies have been working together for a long time.
And
We're
I
lucky to have them here in Vegas.
I think they're on the cover of Vegas, like Q Life magazine or something this month. So very cool. So make sure you check them out there. They're
Are
good
you
friends.
so happy right now
Oh,
you're
my
doing
God.
this show?
Yeah.
Johnny's barely talking right now.
Yeah.
That's how you know
Oh
it's so
my
good.
God.
And you know, a lot of times, eat food on camera. And I go, this is okay. But this is truly delicious. Like everything in here tastes. I mean, every single ingredient tastes amazing. So much love and thought goes into their food.
And to be able to do that for me, driving home from work, right? And I'm going to the house, and I just pull into the drive-thru. I can have this and a barbecue brisket burrito waiting for me. And of course, you know, if you're at the ballparks, you can't get this particular dish, but you can always get their food, man. And they have been Vegas since the opening of Mandalay Bay. I mean, they are
Yeah.
old school Vegas supporters. So go out to the burbs, support them. I wanted to throw them some love
Oh,
today.
that's awesome. And hopefully they'll be in the new Major League Baseball park, too.
I certainly hope
they're
so.
right.
They're
It
everywhere.
works. This
Knock on
stuff
wood.
works, right?
Yeah,
you can see
it
yourself
really
drinking
does.
some beer.
I love this photo. I have to point this out. So this was their location opening in the southwest of Vegas. If you're visiting Las Vegas, again, the best place to have barbecue Mexicana on the Strip would be inside Mandalay Bay, but also at all of our stadiums, actually. But how was the opening there?
The opening was great. She had the big scissors and she cut the red ribbon, and then and then she was going to
She
cut
did
my
a good
hair, but I
job,
was not going to.
dude.
Yeah, she trimmed it up nice, right? It looks
What-
good. Had to
what-
get some color added afterwards, though.
What's going on with the hair today? Do you
know,
have
man,
like
you know.
what colors did you? Purple.
I never really know. I just tell my guy,
Yeah.
like, do what you want. I think we
Really?
got a lot of blues, a lot of reds this time. It was nice last time. I had a TV
Purple?
appearance and purple in the beard, and I had done it in all different colors, and then suddenly it also coincided with June 1st, so I got to tell everybody it was Pride colors. So,
Oh,
the
there you
rainbow.
go.
So that made me happy
That's
as well,
perfect.
right?
When
So-
did you adopt this look? It is so iconic that even before I knew you, I would see you at events, and finally we got to meet. I remember we did the thing at Carla's.
Yeah, at Carla
apartment.
Pellegrino's,
Yes.
yeah.
Another chef here in town.
I used to work in rock and roll. I had really long black hair, jet black all the way down to my butt. Then in my late 30s, early 40s, they started receding on the side, and I decided if I was going to be bald, I'd do it on my own terms. So I shaved the sides, and I had a long jet black mohawk for years. Then about 15 years ago, I wanted to play with it, do new colors, and I realized it was getting shorter and less and thinner and all bad, all the bad things. So I just told my guy, look, do me a favor, bleach out the, Brandon Arthur, by the way, fantastic hair colorist.
Shout out, Brandon.
So, Brandon, you rock, man. So I just said to Brandon, start bleaching out the roots. As soon as they get this long, cut everything else off,
Right.
and for the rest of my life, you own my hair. You could do whatever you want with it.
Wow.
And-
Lifetime deal.
Ownership.
Yeah, so I mean, I do put certain things when the Golden Knights went to the finals the first year. I asked them to do the logo on the side, like
Oh,
shave it
that's
into the
great.
sides and things like that. So I do special requests, but generally it's his hair. Yeah.
All right.
So you were in the rock and roll business, the music business. When did you kind of make the change over to food? Like when did that happen?
Yeah.
Did you travel around so much?
When I came to Las Vegas, I wanted to write locally. It was very hard to find a job writing locally. I mean, I was doing great because I was I'm sorry. Ooh.
Sorry, don't you have a fun first job here in Vegas?
Well, that's what I was going to say. So I
love
yes.
this story.
So I was here working for ABC News Radio. I was interviewing all the rock stars, Celine, all those people.
Right.
But I wanted to write locally as well. Didn't need the money. That was the best job I ever had. But,
Right,
you know, I wanted to
for
be part of the
sure.
community. First job I was able to get was reviewing strip clubs for Las Vegas Weekly.
Very important.
So, yes, I learned to become a critic by critiquing strippers. That was fun. My wife went with me to all of them. We wrote from a couple's point of view. It was, I thought, a really clever
that is
column
clever.
that we did. And then when that went away, and somebody called me and said, hey, you know, we liked your criticism. Would you like to write restaurant reviews? And I've always been a foodie, and I started doing that. And then I just really fell in love with the chefs in Las Vegas and with the stories that they had to tell. And I felt like the period from, say, 2000 to 2025 was going to be probably one of the most important periods in Las Vegas culinary. And I wanted to take what time I had left in that quarter century to tell those stories, to really focus on it. Really, these people trust me to tell their stories. They come to me when they have to announce a restaurant closing so we can get the information out properly, treat it with
Clearly,
respect.
no
Yeah.
You know, when they go to rehab, when they talk about mental health issues, they are kind enough to trust me to share these stories with the world. So I felt that I really wanted to focus on that thing. And then at the end, I did several years at the Review Journal, which was fantastic during the pandemic. I mean, to be able to have chefs tell me what they thought, and I could put it in a newspaper, and I knew the governor read what they had to say about what he was doing. Right? To me, that was one of the greatest privileges I ever had, and doing that at the RJ was really, it touched me to be able to have that responsibility. And then the pandemic ended, and I said, you know what I want? I want to just put butts in seats in restaurants. I just want to send people to places where they're going to have a good time for a little while. I'm only going to talk about the good places for a little while. I'm going to do recommendations only for a little while. I'm going to meet everybody where they are. If you're a hot dog and hamburger fan, I'm going to meet you where you are and help you find a slightly better hot dog and hamburger than what you're used to. If you want to know the best caviar and you know 12 different ways to do caviar, I'm going to meet you where you are and I'm going to tell you the best ways.
What
So
a great approach.
we created the Neon Feast app, and we have everything on the app. You go to the app, and you can find best places for caviar, best date night spot, best places to go after midnight, best cheap eats, best place to go when money is no object. That's one of my
Right.
favorite lists, right? When other people are
A
paying.
number of those places are in Las
Yeah.
Vegas.
And I called up all my friends. As a matter of fact, before I leave here today, I'm leaving with your email addresses. I need your restaurant recommendations on my next survey, because I've sent you surveys before, and I don't think I ever got one back. So you're
Busted.
getting one.
I love it.
I call all my friends who are out and about, the chefs, the restaurant owners, the journalists, the people who are hustling. They're out there all the time. The influencers that I know, the people that I trust. And I say, where do you guys like? What's your favorite restaurant to open in the past year? What is your favorite place to go on date night? And that's how we keep Neon Feast populated. So we don't say these are the best. There may be other great places that we're missing. What we're saying is, I've got a good Rolodex full of smart people.
You're getting consensus from the people who hit the ground eating at these places.
That survey is a perfect segue into the next thing we're going to talk about, because
Yes.
I called you in the last week and I was literally bubbling over because I finally went to Double Zero Pizza.
Oh, man. Yes.
Over on Spring Mountain. I hit it on its 12th month. It's been open for a year here in Vegas. It has been absolutely blowing the minds of people, but it also got recognized in the national contest. I'm not sure that pizza is from Double Zero.
No,
but
that one's actually from Truly, which is a sister restaurant. But let me tell you about the pizza contest and that international group called Top 50 Pizza. They've been doing USA for a little while. They do Top 50 in Europe and in South America and Italy, of course. They're from Italy. So Las Vegas was represented for the first time last year when Pizza Rock got on it. This year, we have two restaurants on it. We have Pizza Rock and Double Zero Pie and Pub. Only 50 restaurants made this list for the entire country.
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Only 6 cities have multiple restaurants on the list, and we're one of them with multiple restaurants on the list. And then what makes it even crazier is Tony Gemignani, who runs Pizza Rock, one of our inclusions, also has a place in California on the list. And Michael Vacnine, who runs Double Zero Pie and Pub, also has a brand new collaboration in California with the Metro Pizza team. It's called Truly Pizza. It's in Dana Point, California.
Dana Point.
It's in Orange County. It's gorgeous by the beach. It's been open less than a year, and it made it on. And
That's incredible. It's just incredible.
Can we take a look at some of these photos? So
That's 00, I believe.
What do you think is on that pie? Because I don't think that's marinara. That's like
no, I thought that was a big mushroom pie that I had, but it looks like some other stuff on there. Yeah, I am sorry.
And
but
what
that is
size
definitely,
is that? Is that a?
That's a personal size.
You know what I'm loving when you go and you get a pizza right out of the oven and you watch it come out of the oven and it often has that crispy crust on it, and that's what happened when I had the pepperoni. There's my pepperoni at 00.
You had
That's
this.
my photo.
That's
oh my
beautiful.
gosh!
You see those blisters
Oh.
and how they burn on the
Yes,
blister and the
burn
control
me.
of that oven. This 00 flour that they use that they get the name for, and those
good.
pizzas are meant to be eaten in there. Like they start
They're
to
not
die
takeout.
the moment they
Right.
hit the table, right? And whereas the same guys, same pizza makers working out in California, they do it for takeout at Truly Pizza, and they give it a different type of crust, a different type of life, so that you could take it home and it'll live. 00, you go there, you want to eat it the minute it hits the pizza. Don't get me wrong, I eat leftovers, late at
course,
night, like
sure.
everybody else
But
does.
optimal flavor,
Yeah.
is that when it comes right out of the oven.
Yes, and that chef is so great. He makes other things that you want to try.
You haven't been there yet, but I
No.
know you're dying to go there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I grew up in a predominantly Italian town right outside of Philadelphia, so I love pizza. I love seeing how it has just become all these different levels. You're meeting people, the improvement in the flour and the way they're baking and everything about it, the ingredients, the pepperoni, the tomatoes. It's really, there's a huge difference, depending on where you go.
Those are a bunch of the varieties at Pizza Rock. Again, I said Pizza Rock was the first Las Vegas restaurant to get on the list. They have 2 locations. They have one in downtown Las Vegas, one in Green Valley Ranch. It is run by Tony Gemignani. This guy is the
Tony,
goat.
good
I
job,
love his
Tony.
name, Gemignani.
He
That's
has
like really Italian.
13-time world pizza champion. He just doesn't even compete anymore because they just give him a trophy every time he competes.
Wow.
And he
That good.
is the guy. And I think he has 11 styles that he does at one restaurant in Vegas at Pizza Rock, and they're all done brilliantly. So if you want Detroit, you can go in there. If you want Grandma from Long Island, you can go in there. You want New York street slices, he could do them for you. I mean, a couple types of Chicago. He is the guy. He could do everything, man.
Yeah,
I love that. There's
knows
a
how to do
thing, Central New Jersey, where I also
Where?
lived. I lived in East Windsor. I lived in Bordentown. I lived in that whole kind of
Because I
general.
was Williamstown growing up in South Jersey and
yeah.
Seton Hall University undergrad.
Oh,
so,
okay.
you
Well,
know.
what's the super in where's Bruce Springsteen from?
Freehold.
Freehold.
Yes.
They're Federici's pizza. It's like wafer thin.
I have heard of that. Yes, I
It's
haven't
this
eaten
wafer thin style. I'm not particularly crazy about it, but if you want something different, it's it's a unique, and I think
you
it's
ever-
unique to Central New Jersey.
there. Maybe.
thick or thin, if you had to pick.
Middle. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like too much dough. I think it kills the
Okay.
flavor.
But you don't like the cracker.
But I don't like the cracker.
Have you
Can I
had an
ask you?
Italian hot dog in New Jersey?
No.
Oh, okay, that's a Newark thing. I thought you might
Yeah.
know about it, but I don't want to drag that down that
I
way.
worked in Newark for sure, but I hadn't had it. Is that with the one with the red sauce? and
They
the
put it in
onions?
like a big piece of bread, and they put mustard on the bottom, then they put the hot dogs in this giant pita roll, then they put fried peppers, then they put fried potatoes, then they put ketchup on it.
I have not had
that's
that, but it sounds amazing.
Dickie D's in Newark, man, that's the
Wow.
place. Yeah.
I'm holding this bowl because I really feel we should share with Cass. I'd like to
Yes.
get
I
Cass's
am
reaction.
salivating.
You want me to bring them
You
over?
can walk in. You are tethered. but
Salivating.
yeah,
My
if you don't mind.
pleasure.
Thank
Okay.
Do you have a
you.
fork, Cass?
welcome.
Do you have a fork?
I don't.
So, like, here's the
Look at
thing.
this, guys.
Yeah, she's using her fingers.
Oh, don't let her use your fork. What do we have,
Cass,
forks?
we would like your
The
genuine
budget is
reaction.
ridiculous. We have 2 forks.
So these are the brisket nachos.
You know what? Let me
Yes.
get one of
From
those forks. 'cause
Barbecue Mexicana.
I'm touching keyboard and
Yeah, you're going to mess up all that equipment. There
Thank
you
you.
go.
Yeah.
live reaction.
Good, right?
so good.
Wish
Michelle's
you guys could
watching
be
going,
here and
"She's
try
eating
this."
it." Chop, chop, chop.
Here goes Cass.
Oh, here it
Brisket
comes.
nachos, first time. Barbecue Mexicana available at Mandalay Bay here in Las Vegas. Also at all of our stadiums.
And brisket is just,
Oh
when
my
brisket is
God.
done right, it's just
Come on, right?
heavenly.
So good.
Yeah, delicious.
Get that brisket in a burrito at every
in there.
location.
You'll be back every week.
I will bring you food every week if that gets me on the
my
air. You just
God.
tell me. I know how to bribe my way onto shows, man. I'm a delicious guest.
So the thing I love about where the conversation just
Right.
went is you guys just left Las Vegas for a moment and you had your East Coast like bonding
Right.
moment because you guys are both, from the Northeast. I love
I
it.
know Williamstown really well.
Wow.
That's so much a part of what Las Vegas is for
is.
those of you visiting and for those of us who live here. It's a melting pot.
Yeah.
Right? People come here from all over. Is that part of the success of the culinary scene in the last 25 years?
I think we're starting to see that as the success of these niche culinary scenes. Pizza, right? The entire country is finally gotten to the point right now, today, where if you go to Chicago, you don't only have to have one style. If you go to New York, you don't only have to have one style. That's only the last 2 or 3 years nationally. In Vegas, it's been like that forever because we don't have our own style. So the best of the best from every other city, when they want our beautiful Las Vegas, whatever it is they love about us, our rules, our weather, whatever it is, our non-rules, they come out here and they're the best and they open their own thing. And most people, they're already not getting what they had at home, so they're open to trying something new. And I think that's helped us. That melting pot helps our barbecue because we have a lot of different types of barbecue. It helps our pizza because we have a lot of different types of pizza. And, you know, it also can be problematic, though. There's still some people who think if it's not like what I had growing up, it's not authentic.
Now, you know, the thing with my Italian well, my Philly friends and my New York friends who live here, we always say this. We always try to get close. We try to approximate something like a Philly cheesesteak or a Philly pizza or a New York pizza. And we always say, it's the water. It's just not.
You
so
hear that
not
about
the water.
Yeah, you hear
that
that all
about the
the
pizza
time.
dough or the bagels even you hear
Yeah,
that
the
about.
bagels.
It has been so disproven. And
Yeah.
John Arena, one of the greatest, John Arena, best friends of Tony Gemignani, who I spoke about. John Arena's with Metro Pizza. He goes back to the East Coast. He wins prizes all the time with our water because he makes his dough here and he brings it out there.
Wow,
And
so that
every
totally
time, yeah, it's
knocks it out.
totally because at
Baloney.
this point we have water treatment.
more of
You
that.
decide exactly what you want the pH to be on your water. You buy a treatment system. So everybody sets their own water. I mean, no good pizzaiola, unless it's an old super family New York recipe, is probably even using tap water from their town, right? They're probably, the good people are probably doing something to it.
Right.
So our water is, I mean, I hate our water, but it's fine for making
It's
pizza
chunky.
and bagels.
It's chunky water.
Well, it's got, you know, dead mob people from Lake Mead in it, right?
Floating around. But
Yeah.
that's what makes it Italian.
It's the mobsters, yes, the mobster flavor.
Oh my gosh! Maybe that's what it is.
There we go.
Oh my god! Classic.
So when did what you had said it, but tell me again, when did you land here? What year was it?
2001.
So 2001. So I didn't get here until 2011. But I noticed with the 13 and a half years I've been here, it has really, and maybe it was already, and I just, you know, I hadn't really locked in on the town yet. But it seemed in that period that I've been here, it's really become a foodie town. Like, for multiple reasons. Bigger name celebrity chefs, bigger name executive chefs. But then some of the executive chefs have burned out or retired, and they've come and opened their own places in Henderson. So you get this incredibly well-trained CIA chef or wherever he went to school, who may even been on one of the shows, who now says, I'm opening a place, I'm not killing myself, I'm serving breakfast and lunch. But it's amazing.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
the big stories from 1998, opening of Bellagio, through about 2010, my beginning of my time here, was just the celebrity chef rollout, right? Bellagio, I mean, Wolf was already here,
Everyone.
Emerald was already here, but then Bellagio came and then Wynn, and you know, bam, bam, bam. Then the French guys came, Caesar's Palace brought in Guy and Joël Robuchon. So that was a big story for about 15 years.
Yeah.
Story for the last 10, however, has been those people that got rotated in from New York to work in those celebrity chef restaurants who fell in love with Las Vegas. They loved our cost of living. They met somebody and got married.
Yeah.
They started having kids here. And then it was time for them to go back to San Francisco or New York or wherever.
Chicago.
And they're like, how about I just open my own restaurant in Las Vegas? Rents ain't so bad off the strip. Let's do something. And the last 10 years, that has been the story. That's the story that I have just been so excited to be telling people.
I love it.
If you
And
look
not
at-
only that, but you have like an unending audience,
Yeah.
right? I mean, of people who want to eat.
Everybody
People coming
has
here
to
dine.
eat. People always
Yeah.
say, what's the same thing about, what's the similarity between reviewing strip clubs and reviewing restaurants? And I'm like, everybody eats and everybody wants to have sex. So, you know, there you go.
Or pay somebody to watch them dance.
Yes.
So with Neon Feast, can I go, and I have it on my phone already,
Yeah.
but for everybody who's watching, is it just a downloadable app?
Download it from the App Store. You can
Perfect.
get it from the Google Play Store. You get it from the Apple App Store. Or you can go to www.neonfeast.com. If you don't want to do the app thing, you can do it that way.
And it's
Perfect.
great,
That's
whether you live here, and I have it on my phone as well, from when I interviewed you right when you opened the app. I
Yeah,
believe, right
you were
when-
at my
right when
launch
it
party, I
launched.
believe. Yeah, over at Soul Belly Barbecue.
There you go.
Speaking of barbecue,
Oh.
that's our thing. We do barbecue together,
we do.
apparently.
We do that. Oh, I tell you, you invite me, I'll be there. But it's been exciting to watch it grow. So this is very useful to us as locals, but also if you're visiting Las Vegas, pop on the website, download the app. And what you do is you kind of cut to the chase. You categorize things for us in a way that we just never could.
Yeah.
It's like having a friend give you advice on food in Las Vegas.
Well, that's one of the things. We all live here. People are coming in. They're coming in for a wedding, or they're coming for a conference, or they're coming in for a limited amount of time. And I get this all the time. Hey, we're coming to Las Vegas. We want to see you, but where should we go, and what shows should we see? And it's like, well, that's like, it's like what do you like? What do you do?
Yeah.
It's such a broad question. So I just say go to Neon Feast, and you'll be
you.
able to find out. It'll speed up the process. It's better than some of the other ones in the fact that you're like your boots on the ground. You've got. I love the photos.
He has
of the
eaten
Thank you.
his way
I've
through all
eaten
of
it
Las
all.
Vegas.
Yeah.
And I try to take people and give them these little bits and pieces that'll make them be able to plan their trip there, right? Maybe I just mentioned some cool table in the corner over here that certain chef likes, or maybe I mentioned that they have a weird ingredient that nobody else has. But you could sort of plan your trip a little bit so you know where you're going, because that's what I found about foodies. Like foodies like to get excited about the meal before they even see the menu, right?
That is so perfect. Yeah.
And this is for those kind of people. You don't have to be that kind of person. You could just go, 14 best strip steakhouses. I'll go to one of these, right? Like, no problem. You can use it that way. But if you're a nerd like me and you want to know why this journalist likes this place, or this chef likes this place, or why that dish at Michael Mina, which of the dishes at Michael Mina was created for his wife on their honeymoon, right?
Which?
And then that way when you go, you're going to have to check. No, the caviar parfait. Caviar parfait. So if you ever,
Buffet.
so if you're going to spend $100+ or whatever it costs to buy caviar, at least you can tell your friends a cool story about it, right? And then feel cool.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was going to say that's a perfect segue into the next thing, because people have a lot of different tastes, or you profile all kinds of different restaurants, but everyone agrees on saving a little bit of money.
Yes.
And a happy hour, a social hour is a huge thing, and we have one that is right off the strip, but still inside a giant property.
Scotch 80 Prime is inside the Palms Casino.
Right.
This is a
Fancy.
steakhouse that is as fancy and as good and as beautiful as the best on the strip. Absolutely.
Hello.
Look at that food. I mean, come on, right?
It's gorgeous.
And it's not quite as expensive as the strip, but it is more expensive than some people might think. So what they're doing now is 4 days a week, from Monday through Thursday. They are doing 2 social hours a night with half price on something like 18 items. And this includes steaks that you can now get, like a petite filet or a rib cap. They're normally $70 or $68, so you're getting half off of that, right? So you're paying, actually, I think $32.50 for the petite filet and $31 for the rib cap if you get it during these hours. And you can add a lobster tail, which is normally $50 to add a lobster tail, now for $25. So think about that. You're throwing a $32 steak and a $25 side lobster tail.
That's insane.
Surf and turf for that kind of price. The exact same portion sizes that they do during normal hours. And you could do it if you're one of these. I used to be a late night person. Now I'm an early bird. I'm getting old. They have it for both, right? It's before 6:30 and after 8:30. You get these prices.
You mean I get my steak at 9 a.m.?
No, I'm sorry. They are, of course. You've got to go 4 to 6:30. I believe, or
No,
5
that's
to
a great
6,
time.
5
That's
to
a great
6:30. Excuse me.
If we
5
could
to
show
6:30.
show the pictures again.
Yeah.
I know we
for
have the
sure.
hours on there. 5 to 6:30,
5 to
8:30 to
6:30,
10.
excuse me.
So Scotch 80, by the way, Scotch 80 is a very, very fancy kind of mid-century modern neighborhood here in Las Vegas.
beautiful.
So that's what it's named after. And I love the room. It's elegant. It's fantastic. You can go out to the
Modern.
Ghost Bar afterwards and get one of the best views in Las Vegas. And I just love this place. I took my husband there for one of his birthdays.
Chef Marty DeLeon is the chef in there, and he's fantastic. I know. Look at that
What is
dessert.
that?
That's going to be a little cherry flavored dessert.
Hello.
Yeah, and everything they sent me pictures of, I believe, is stuff that is on the happy hour menu. So I don't usually do dessert I'm a dessert like late at night guy. I'm a like I eat until I'm stuffed and I can't have any more, and then I want dessert late at night. That would have definitely tempted me. I would have had that one. I would have stayed for that bad boy.
Questions. I don't know why. I think because I thought social hour means happy hour. Do you have to sit at the bar for that menu or no?
I do not. No, you do not. I actually saw people getting it the other day at a table. So no, you do not have to sit at the bar for that.
That's a deal.
And yeah,
It's an insane deal.
Yeah.
it's absolutely, as long as it's into their system on those time frames, these items, and you have to look at the menu and you'll see the little logo next to the things. But sometimes that happens and there's not a lot of logos, right?
Right, no, they really reduce the offerings.
Yeah.
You know,
what impressed me here is how many items there are, how they are exactly the same that you would get them, if you ordered them during normal hours. It's the same high quality beef. They have so much great beef there. They have beef from like 3 or 4 American producers on their menu. They have multiple types of Japanese beef on their menu. I think they have Australian. I mean, they're so in love with great ingredients. But then Chef Marty DeLeon is a fantastic chef that brings all these multicultural influences in there, right?
cool.
So you can order like, and this is not, I don't think, on the happy hour menu, the social hour menu, but it is a lobster fried rice or something like that. And you don't think of that in a steakhouse sense, right?
No.
But a lot of Asian influences on that menu as well. And really, Scotch 80 and the entire Palms setup right now, since the Palms got bought and reopened, took them a minute to catch up to how Vegas operates, but they are firing on all cylinders now, and so many bargains. I mean, you could get free cabanas at the newly done Sammy Hagar pool like 4 days a week, right?
Free cabanas?
Yeah,
Like
free
a
cabanas
lottery,
for
or-
locals. No, you just call, and I mean, I don't have all that information with me right now, but I talked about it on my podcast.
They're serving Las Vegas and obviously locals really well.
Yeah, and I did a podcast, Food and Loathing podcast about, please, Food and Loathing podcast, myself and Gemini Stevens, please listen to us. And we actually recorded one in one of those brand new cabanas after Sammy Hagar did the renovation.
Fun.
And we talk all about how you can get them for free on weekdays if you're a local.
Yeah.
So, I mean, imagine that. And then you got a cabana, change into some nice clothes, and then get, the world's most inexpensive
gosh.
surf and turf.
And that is an amazing pool, those double-decker, and the 2 stories of cabanas.
Yeah, with the
That's
plunge
great.
pools,
Yeah,
and it's
pretty
just nuts.
amazing.
And Vetri is in there. Vetri is one of my favorite
on the roof,
restaurants.
right?
You just have to come back and talk all about Vetri.
I'll talk all about all 3 of his restaurants.
I love Vetri. That is one of the best.
It's a beautiful
Another amazing
restaurant.
Italian restaurant here in town.
Yeah.
And
for
then look
sure.
out, you're in this restaurant and you look out and it's this view and you're just like,
Yeah, it's
Best
pretty
view in Las Vegas because it's in the Palms and it's
So you
180
look
degrees.
at the strip
Right.
instead of being
So
right
you're
on
like,
the strip.
Oh, there's Allegiant Stadium that way. And then you turn this way and you're like, there's the Stratosphere. And then here it is. We're just laid out in front of me. It's so gorgeous. Probably it's on Neon Feast as one of the best date night places, one of the best off-strip Italian restaurants in Las Vegas. I think one of our best special occasions and one of the best places for dinner with a view. I mean, we have
That's
all those
amazing.
categories and it just rocks. We love Vetri. Of course, Mabel's Barbecue is also in the Palms. They do well. They've
Oh, I used to go there. It was. No, I've been to Mabel's Barbecue. Do you know they have a secret back room
yeah.
at Mabel's
It
Barbecue?
used to be called Sarah's in the old days.
Oh, excellent. I didn't know that, but I've been in the room. I used to go to Mabel's Barbecue. It was close to the news station I used to
Yes.
work at.
Yeah.
So I've been there many times. I love that joint, for
That's
sure.
excellent. So the Palms are crushing it. We love them.
I feel like this would be a good time to explain to all our viewers and take a look at the comments, though, that we are joined today by Al Mancini. He's one of the top food writers in Las Vegas, and he is here with some amazing recommendations. Well, we're about 3 recommendations into it. Quite frankly, we could probably roll with him for about 48 hours. because there's so
Oh
much
my God.
there's
information.
just so much, this town is geographically not that large, but there's so many restaurants packed in. Planes are literally flying in and out every few hours with some of the greatest seafood in the world.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place for that reason.
Can you share the stats? So we play this game, and actually, if you have a moment, we'd love you to
Yeah,
stay and
I
play
like
with
games.
us.
Yes.
It's Vegas Fact or Fiction.
Okay.
And so Johnny really stumped me last week with a question. You might already know the answer. You probably do, being in the food industry, but
So,
recall it.
according to what I had looked up, that more seafood is consumed in a single day.
Shellfish.
Shellfish
Specifically.
specifically,
Yeah.
because of shrimp and lobster and all those
Right.
things, and huge events with 5,000 attendees and the seafood bars. That we consume more seafood in one day in Las Vegas than the rest of the country.
I would say it's probably pretty close, but I would go with us. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I bet this is even money. That'd be
Yeah.
a pick 'em in my
Yeah, but it's
in my,
us.
my
Think of
money.
like Maryland and Boston,
Yeah.
and you think, oh, come on, how could it be?
But
more
there's
Las
not
Vegas?
5,000 people at a pharmaceutical
Yeah.
event, or you go to the buffets, and I've been to the seafood buffets, and people with stacks
Oh.
of crab. I mean, and like, there's no way they're eating all this.
Nobody
There's no way.
finishes what they have at a buffet, but nothing makes people feel more rich than piling a bunch of food on a
Seafood.
plate. And
There's
yeah, and like,
something
look at
about
all the
seafood
shrimp
like
and
that.
crabs and
Yeah,
lobster tails
I'm
I have.
rich.
Oh, well, the Palms, they're buffet because not a lot of people are doing
Yeah.
buffets these days.
Yeah.
They're doing 2 lobster nights a week right now. I think
Are
it's
they?
Wednesday and Thursday, but you want to double check on that. But yeah, unlimited lobster nights they're doing over there. People line up.
I walked right. Speaking of the Palms, I walked by the buffet right when I was going to Babyface. Remember, I told you
Yeah.
guys about how much I enjoyed seeing Babyface. I know he's coming back to the Palms in October. Surprisingly awesome show.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It really, I had no expectation. I left being like, I'm a fan.
That's
wow,
awesome.
That was something else. Cass, do we want to look at the comments? And
Yeah,
by the way, are you still
absolutely.
eating those nachos? How's it going?
They're
How'd you
sitting
like
here.
them?
I'm clicking around, but I want to eat them.
So Rusty
I want to eat
Myers
them.
is
I know
in
Rusty
there.
is
Said
here.
Looks
Rusty's
yummy.
here.
He's watching. Thanks, Rusty.
Looks yummy. Strata agreed. We got Polly19. I've been to Vegas, Nevada 8 times. I just love going there. Hello to all from Ontario,
Hello, Canada.
Hey,
I gotta
you
come up there
Canuck.
and watch some hockey.
Hey,
When are the Knights playing
good
in
to see you.
Ontario?
I love having Canadian folks.
Canadians.
Canadians actually are top foreign visitors here in Las Vegas for sure.
Really?
Yep.
I did
Yep.
not know that. Fast Tap
Hey.
Slots, what's happening, guys? Hello from Vegas.
Hello.
One of our own. Hello.
She said somebody from Canada. Al, when are they opening a Canadian restaurant? Everyone loves Canadians.
We have a Canadian
When
bar,
is it?
Bar Canada. It's in the D
It's a
upstairs.
It's a Mike Myers joke. He always says,
I
Let's grab
apologize.
for the Canadian.
But we have a Canadian
Oh,
bar.
legit-
We
really?
have Bar
That's great.
Canada. It's a great place to watch hockey.
You said top of the
It's
D?
up at the second floor of the D, right? Where
Okay.
they have the
Oh,
old
the second
Sigma
floor.
Derby, you
Yes.
know, where you go up to do the
Oh.
horse racing. And they've got this big old Canadian bar. And that's also where they have their bacon restaurant up there, where they make everything with bacon. They
Right.
make the bread out of bacon and put bacon sandwiches on bacon bread. So, yeah,
No
it's
way.
like,
I didn't
it's
even know
And a
that.
bacon chef makes it.
yeah, the chef's made of bacon. I don't know, man. But yeah, no. So
Whip
we've
out your
got
bacon
Canadian.
wallet, yeah.
He thought he was going to stump me, but he didn't.
Okay, let's go ahead and play Vegas Fact or Fiction. Can
Before we do
What?
that,
What?
for everybody who's watching, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit
Please.
that like button. That helps more people see the show. And if you want to know when the episode is going to be on the JJ and Johnny channel, just hit notification. It's just a reminder, but it shows that you're engaging with us, and that helps YouTube know to move us up so more people can see us.
Yeah,
And a
guys.
quick shout out to Skill Money Games. That's where we are
Yes,
live
our
from
studios.
today.
Hey, Skill
Thank you,
Money
Skill Money.
Games.
What are we gambling on today?
Golf and bowling.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't do either. I'm not betting. I can't. I was hoping it would
have you
be
seen the
something like
studio?
quarters or,
yeah.
a drinking game.
Have you seen the
Studio's
Ping pong?
gorgeous,
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
those games out there
Yeah,
are gorgeous,
it's
man.
amazing.
Yeah, it's very
really
cool.
amazing.
Thanks for hanging with us. It's extremely warm in here, as you guys know. We're in
Yeah,
the
we
middle
don't
of our
have-
summer here in
There's
Las
no
Vegas.
fans because we have to.
Okay, before we play Vegas Fact or Fiction, are you ready? Cass, are we ready?
I'm so ready. Let's do it. Vegas.
Fact or
Fact or
fiction.
fiction.
There it is. All right, I blew this game last week, so I'm going to try to come in strong, guys. Here we go. Is this fact or fiction? So recently, folks, it's been noted that visitorship to downtown Las Vegas has increased.
Downtown.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it should.
So, what percentage of visitors coming to Las Vegas in 2023 went to downtown Las Vegas as part of their trip? Meaning Fremont Street or the surrounding area.
You're looking for a percentage.
I would
What
put the
percentage of tourists?
over under. I'd put it 12%.
Okay.
I was thinking 25, but now that you said that, it's probably below it. So I'll go with 20%.
So, according to the LVCVA website, 54% of
Wow.
visitors visit downtown
Well,
Las Vegas.
good
How's
for
that even
you.
possible?
You need to. Well, first of all, every
You
time
mean
that
they're
I'm on,
just coming? They're staying maybe on the strip, but
Yeah.
they're going down to visit.
For
Oh,
a visit.
okay.
For
Well,
a visit.
do you know every time I do national media, they're always saying, "What's hot in Vegas right now? What's hot in Vegas right now?"
Vegas itself. is
And other than
Yes,
the
we
sun
are hot.
and the
Yeah. It's
street,
hot.
the
We're
asphalt,
dying.
the dog's feet, all that. But other
Pads.
than those things, I say most recently I've told them you have to go to the Arts District. If you're not going to the Las
Yes.
Vegas Arts District, you are not experiencing Las Vegas if you don't go to the Las Vegas Arts District. The Strip has everything you'll need.
Yes.
The Arts District will give you that one night, that one extra bonus that'll make you go, wow, I did Vegas the way my friends did it, and now I did something my friends haven't done.
I love the
Yes.
Velvet Rabbit.
Velveteen Rabbit,
The
yes.
Velveteen Rabbit, where they just handcraft your drinks. It
Yes.
is like an old school bar with a new kind of a new vibe. I think it's a brother and sister, or
It's a woman-run organization. There
Yeah.
may be, there may be a
somebody else.
brother
But
in
it's
there,
just
but
a
I know I've always
wonderful-
dealt with women when
just
I've dealt
a
with
really
them.
cool, laid-back vibe. Totally different than the Strip, but there's so much more to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And when you're there, it just feels really like a throwback, and you're in no rush. You're just having an amazing drink.
And you can walk around.
Yeah.
I mean, in this weather, you may burst into flames, but generally speaking, it's one of Las Vegas's only walking districts that is not either inside a casino
That is
or
true.
under a canopy,
Yeah,
right? And
it's
like
true.
And
that's
there's
pretty
so
much
many
it.
outdoor patios
Yeah.
again, when the weather's decent, it helps. But actually, that's true.
Yeah.
It's kind of hitting a tipping point of growth. Also, you guys saw that the Neon Museum is going to move into the arts.
Yeah,
district.
that's
That I
fantastic.
didn't know. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
And you
just
know
was
Wolfgang
announced.
Puck's down there now with 1228 Main.
I didn't know that.
That's like the fact that Wolfgang Puck said, okay, I need to build a bakery to supply all of my places. And then he said, why don't I open it in the Arts District? And then we'll also have a restaurant there as well.
beautiful.
So that's coming out. I think they
Wow.
may have just hit a year. And it took them a little while to figure out whether they wanted to be counter service or have waiter service and all those kind of things. It's always some rough patches. Some people weren't ready to pay for the premium ingredients that they use right off the bat. A year in, I think they've really found a nice formula that works for everybody. I can't walk past that place without getting a loaf of bread to take home because they make the best bread and the
All
best
right.
pastries.
We love bread.
Yeah.
We love bread. So,
Sadly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
we're
a
gonna have
reason to
go
get me
there.
back. Bring
Yes.
some bread.
Oh my gosh,
Some
didn't
bread.
use the
Bring you bread.
Okay.
Gosh,
Speaking
yes.
of bread, Italians, they love bread. They know bread. There was an opening recently of a restaurant just off the strip, but visitors could still go there. It would be a quick
Yeah.
Uber ride. Bramare.
Bramare, look,
Oh.
there is off of Paradise Road. There's this little shopping complex over there, and it's walking distance to the Sphere. I mean, if you're going to see a show at the Sphere,
Right.
all that, and it's really having a renaissance right now. So Bramare just opened there. Space used to house Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. If people used to live in Las Vegas 25 years ago, Ruth's Chris was the after-work spot. So
Yeah.
they're trying to get that going again at Bramare. They're going to keep it open late till 3 in the morning. They want to get people coming off the strip, finishing their jobs, going to hang out. Very great late night scene. And what I love about this,
Hey,
there's
who's
my
that
wife
guy?
and myself hanging out
She's
at their
a hot
grand
chick.
opening. She is way too hot for me, I know. So I love Bramare. The team that did it is the team that purchased Table 34 about a year and a half ago.
Evan and Constantine.
Evan and
right?
Constantine. So Evan, you may know from his family owning Piero's for years and years and years. Constantine Alexander, you know him from running the beverage program at Hakkasan and places like that. They formed a new company. They hired a chef named Joe Valdez. Their goal was always to open their own restaurants. But the first thing they did was save Table 34 because the old owners, this was a classic off-strip Vegas
Yeah.
restaurant, beloved for
Right between here
decades.
and my house.
Yeah.
So the owners were looking to sell. Those guys bought it, and they showed it the respect it deserved and bringing it to the next generation without abandoning why we all love it. So I'm a huge fan of Table 34. These guys just opened Bramare. All I did was walk around and cheers and eat little finger foods. Everything was great, but I can't wait to go back for a meal. I think it's going to be fantastic.
I would love
That's
to go
great.
there. Let's take a look at those pictures again, can we?
look
Because
so good.
yeah,
Bring 'em out.
that looks like something else. I know that was a fish.
Ooh.
And the
Yeah.
pasta. Look at that
Oh, look at
pasta
that.
pic. Come on.
That looks,
Come
that
on.
looks incredible.
So Bramare, folks, write that down. So if you're coming to Vegas and you love actually getting off property, you don't want to eat inside maybe the hotel you're staying
Yeah.
at. You don't want to eat in a casino. That is very close. And
Especially
that's
if you're going to the Sphere.
excellent.
If you're going to the
Yeah.
Sphere, this is really, really close to where you'd be going. So if you've
That's a great
got
tip.
tickets to go see the Eagles or whoever, or the Dead and Company, or even just their Postcards from Earth show, right? And you want to do something good before or afterwards,
Bromare.
Bromare, man, it's hot, it's new, it's hip. You're going to want to be there.
Perfect.
Do you want to share your Vegas Factor Fiction?
Yes, Vegas
question?
Factor Fiction. It's Mirage. Since we were there last
okay.
Tuesday, a week ago today. So the Mirage itself cost $630 million to build.
30 some years ago?
Yeah, 1989.
Okay.
So $630 million.
Right.
When they built the Love Theater, how much did they spend on that?
You know, I should know this.
So
I
the
interviewed them when they built this. I interviewed
Okay.
Sir George Martin, who helped them build it. If I was going to guess, I'd say
Before
70.
before you guess, because the Factor Fiction is it 1/6? Is it 2/6? Is it 3/6? That's the
okay.
Factor Fiction.
Okay.
You know,
In six.
What
Yeah,
percentage?
in sixth.
In sixth.
So you said it's 800 million, 600 million to build the original?
630 million.
I can't imagine they did more than 100 million. I could see them spending 100 million, so I'm going to go with the sixth, 1/6.
I'll say 2/6.
It was $125 million just for that separate build, just
Yeah.
for that theater. They built the entire thing. The volcano, the hotel, the parking structure for $630 million. But that theater was $125 million. And I'm sure they paid it off. But
Yeah, I
now
think they did.
But now it's gone, sadly.
Can I
It's
give
such
you a Vegas Facts
Oh,
Fiction
yes,
for
please.
the
We love
Mirage?
this stuff.
So a member of the Grateful Dead wrote the music for that volcano. Who was it?
Peter Weir.
No, Mickey Hart.
Wow.
Mickey Hart, I interviewed him. It was probably about 5 years into Vegas. They decided to revamp that volcano, write new music for it. They hired Mickey Hart to do it for them.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Very
I
cool.
Who would have thought
I
that?
love stuff like that.
Wow.
I have a totally non-Las Vegas fact.
Yes,
If you'll indulge me for a
please.
second. I love the movie MASH. It was made in 1970. Remember the movie MASH?
Well, I remember the whole series.
Not
but
the series. This is the movie by Robert Altman.
Okay.
And his son, who
Didn't
was
it happen at the end of the series, or
No,
no?
before.
It
oh,
inspired
way
the whole
before.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it went into production in '69.
Not
came
as
out in
serious.
1970.
More slapstick comedy. A little
and
less.
very well. It was dark humor because of
Yeah.
the whole suicide storyline. But it turns out Robert Altman's son came in one day. He was 14 and sang him that song, and he said, "I'm going to put that in the movie." That became the theme song of the movie and of the series.
You mean? You
You know the name of the song?
Suicide is
Suicide
Painless.
is Painless,
Yeah.
yes.
I
Okay.
hope we're not.
right.
This is not
Yeah,
gonna
are we
throw-
technically?
this is
Let's
gonna
not do
throw us
anything
off,
more, or
man.
we're going to be
You
out of
guys
money.
are
We're going to
okay.
owe them some money
Yeah.
for the.
Oh, I
thing.
don't mean that. We can't say the S word.
Oh, sorry. You know, Marilyn Manson covered that song.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The whole version of it. Yeah.
Oh, that's fast. I love.
Imagine
all-
that I would know things about Marilyn
About
Manson
rock
that
and
you
roll,
don't, man. That's
baby.
hard to believe.
Yeah, I loved Marilyn Mason. She was great. Wonderful actress.
Ah,
Oh
my gosh.
Really loud. But stuff you must know from your days in rock and roll.
I've seen some things.
Yeah, I
That's
bet
what I
you
like
have.
to tell.
Yeah.
JJ's seen some things, I
I've
bet.
seen some fun
yeah,
things.
she's
Yeah,
seen
you're
some
gonna have to
things.
come back and tell us next time. We'll get a portable air conditioner. I tell you what, guys, it's about as hot as
yeah.
it could be in here.
Yeah.
But
No,
Al
man, my hair's
Mancini,
staying up. When it gets too hot, the hair starts to flop.
I know. It's good.
And I hate when my things flop on.
Sounds like one of my wigs.
Really?
Yeah, my body heats up.
That's funny, man. Well, thank you so
I'm
much for
glad you
having
guys
me.
share my problems.
Yeah.
I like this. Yeah.
Hey, what's on the future?
Yeah,
what's
you're
what's
so
coming
welcome. We love
next
having
in food here? We seem to be really innovating and coming up with great restaurants and venues and. You know.
I mean, look, I'm really excited or anxious maybe to see whether the Voltaggio brothers come back full time. I think them doing that 1-year residency at Mandalay Bay, and it did incredibly well for them. I think that really set it down. I know they have a lot of TV appearances to do. I know they have a lot of other restaurants,
Commitments
but
and-
I'm fingers crossed that they'll come back. I would prefer they did a slightly different concept than what they did this time, just because the comfort food thing was fantastic, but I thought it worked as a pop-up, you know? So I'd like to see them come back. But, I mean, what's going on? it's always moving. Things
Yeah.
are always happening. Julian Serrano's retirement coming up. You know, I mean, if you get a chance to get into Picasso while you still
we
can.
purposely went
Yeah.
for our anniversary 2 weeks ago. It was absolutely fine dining
Yeah.
at its best.
He's one of the
I gotta
best.
get there.
With a staff that knows exactly what they're doing. They do it like clockwork.
But
John had dessert.
yeah.
Ooh,
oh
cool.
My God. The whole meal was just amazing.
Well, look, in addition, of course, to Neon Feast, where we give you restaurant recommendations, I ask you to please listen to my podcast. It's called Food and Loathing. It's myself and Gemini Stevens, and we share where we eat every week, basically, where we've
that's
eaten,
great.
what's in the news that week, and we do one extended interview in the middle of each week's thing. So it's about an hour, hour and a half each week. We talk about things that we're excited. And then go to neonnews.vegas for those of you that don't do the podcast stuff, and that's where we take the stuff that's on the podcast and we type it out like, trained monkeys. And there you go.
Yeah.
So please,
Like the writers that
neonnews.vegas,
you are.
Food and Loathing, please.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for us. Thank you so much for joining us for JJ and Johnny. Next week, we'll get to all the shows that Johnny and I have been going to.
Yes. So many. Conjurers was fantastic.
Carlos
We're gonna-
Mencia, gotta see it. A very, very surprising show. But thank you to Al Mancini.
Thank you. Thank you for
Have a
having
great
me.
week,
Thanks for
everybody.
being
Say
here.
goodbye, Cass.
Bye, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll link all of his socials and your website. Make sure we can get to those. All right.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Comment, like, subscribe. What?